So some of you might know me from my old YouTube channel. Some of you might know me from car club circles or other social media sites. Some of you might know me from certain memes that I've been in. And some of you might know me from my writing or even some of my really weird, obscure movie appearances. I decided to start a new YouTube channel because I've just kind of moved on from some of the parody stuff that I mostly did, and I wanted to do something new. So this new channel will be dedicated to a lot of things that I haven't necessarily concentrated on before. Random adventures, things I've built, definitely rants here and there. Probably a lot of profanity, so if you don't like that, well, I don't know what the fuck to tell you, but more wholesome. That's the thing. Way more wholesome in a sort of weird goth way. Anyway, so to kick that off, I wanted to start with talking about my latest build, which is this aqueduct. And a lot of people, when I told them about this, they didn't really know what I was talking about because they were familiar with like Roman aqueducts, and really what I was thinking of is just like a channel of elevated water that had like a nice sheet of smooth water flowing through it. And I kind of built mine inspired by an aqueduct that is in downtown. Man, fuck you, crows. Shut the fuck up. And I kind of built my aqueduct based off of one that's at a park off of Bellevue, and I had seen when I was a kid, and I always really liked that. I always just thought for the longest time that water had to always be in a river or in a pipe. And seeing this like elevated bridge that just had water just rushing through it, I thought that was so cool. And here's the thing, my personal property where I live, I wouldn't necessarily maybe refer to it as like the crown jewel of the neighborhood. It's kind of like a Transaltucky vibe going on, so it's the type of place you would expect of somebody who is both goth and works on a lot of fucking cars. So there are bats and hearses and also random transmissions sitting in the driveway, so it's kind of like a weird aesthetic that's not really an aesthetic. Now, at one point I had a pond liner out here for a little lake that I was going to make. It was creatively named Lake Sepsis, but it just started filling up with gunk and guck and started swallowing 5-year-olds whenever they would visit. And that happened on one occasion. It was hilarious. I finally decided, well, I was going to go ahead and unearth the pond liner and move it. Here is the former hole in the ground where Lake Sepsis was. This is the new location. My yard is not overwhelmingly green. I don't have a green thumb. I'm good with cars. I am not good with greenery, so I decided to do this. It was really important to me to have like a sheet of water coming out. I didn't want it to just be this torrent of water. I wanted it to be something that almost looked like it had come out of like a laminar flow nozzle where it was just a lot smoother than it would be naturally. And luckily that just kind of happened organically through the design here. This is like super fucking relaxing. I just fucking love being able to put my hands in water. I don't know. It just makes me happy. Water tower itself does not have a cap on it yet because I was kind of going for the Petticoat Junction water tower look. Also, it's good for bugs, which I'm not really like the biggest fan of bugs, but whatever. I do have dragonflies now, and that's awesome, and I love the dragonflies. I have it's either a 4,800 or 6,800 gallon per hour pump from Harbor Freight that goes underneath here and just pumps up into the water tower and then releases back down here, all 2-inch pipe. Oh, there's a little spider guy there. Can we see the spider guy? Hi, spider dude. If you're new to these kind of projects, a couple of pieces of advice that I will give to you is that when you have flowing water, which you should always have, it needs to replenish. So what I have here is just a hose going in, and then I have this little timer over here that sets it off every couple of hours just to replenish it. One of the things that you'll discover is when you use big flat pieces of wood like this, you can kind of see it underneath all of this. There is actually flaws that develop in the wood. I just like that sound. Why is it that when like something makes that sound, you just kind of want to hear it over and over again? Anyway, point is that you will have these flaws that develop, and even if you get a perfect piece of wood, like this wood was absolutely perfect when I got it home from Home Depot. Once I installed it, once I drilled into it, big cracks formed. So what you do is, first thing, I think you should always have any wood that's exposed treated. So this is actually a stain that I had them add just the maximum amount of black to, just to give it a little bit of protectant. So it's a stain and protectant. For this part, I used Flex Seal. So you got a quart of Flex Seal. A quart did the whole entire area, and it did the underside, and it does not leak at all. This has been operating for about 7 straight days. Not a single drip underneath it here. One of the things that I will tell you, if you want to save money on a project like this, the actual wood stain that I used for this was a mist tint, and you can't always talk them into adding more tint to it, but a lot of times you can. And so I got a $60 gallon of wood stain for 15 bucks. Manufactured this. It's not perfect. It's not meant to be perfect either. It's meant to be rustic, which, by the way, rustic is always the way you want to go if you want to skimp on craftsmanship. Just say it's fucking rustic. Nobody's going to call you on that shit and be like, oh, it was meant to be rustic, by which I mean looking like it's already falling apart even though you made it 2 weeks ago. This looks real good. The way I painted the dirt there, really classy, goth dirt. And you know, as always with anything like this, I do like to remind people that, you know, there's a right way, there's a wrong way, there's a perfectionist way, but I really do believe that for the most part with things like this, the best way is whatever way you're going to get it done. If you don't always have all of the tools, all of the supplies that you need, look around at what you do have. Now, things that you shouldn't cheap out on are anything that's actually going to be functional. So, you know, I didn't cheap out on the wood channeling. I didn't cheap out on sealing this. So I actually sealed the joints because I am not a great carpenter. Which brings me to another point, which is, guys, you're probably not going to be great at everything you do. I'm not. But just doing it, just getting it done. If I had paid a carpenter to come here and do this, you know, we'd be looking at a lot of money. I don't even know, because I don't pay people to do shit. You know, this cost me a couple $100 to do. To me, pride is immensely wrapped up in doing it yourself. I don't like to pay other people to work on my cars. I have no pride in saying, yes, I just brought my car back from, you know, the mechanic and they just fixed it. Even if what you did wasn't perfect, even if it wasn't just absolutely gorgeous, the fact of the matter is you did it, and you can have pride in that. It's a thing that you did, and your hands made that thing. So always, whenever possible, do it yourself, guys. The pocketbook has no pride. One other thing that I will mention before I go, I'm not going to be one of those fucking YouTubers who's like, oh, like and subscribe. Fuck that, dude. I mean, you know the fucking button exists. You don't need to be reminded by every You don't need to be reminded by every fucking YouTube video that you see to like and subscribe. You fucking know that shit. I guess I kind of already did that just by addressing it. I don't know. What do you want from me? Anyway, the point is, you don't have to like and subscribe. I don't give a shit. I'm probably never going to get a check from YouTube ever again. I am putting too much music that doesn't belong here that I don't own, and I'm swearing too much, and I'm probably using words that they don't like. But I will have a Patreon, so if you want to show support, if you want to get added stuff that I don't post, I'm going to have archives of some of my old writings on there that'll be easily accessible. Things that I used to write that people really liked. I will have outtakes, other things like that. Just extra stuff, and I'll probably release the videos early on Patreon. So, you know, like, go and show support for that there if you want to, or don't. Actually, the fact of the matter is, even if I don't make money off of this, and I don't get millions and millions of views, I'm kind of at this point just doing this because I want to create some stuff, and if some people see it, that's awesome. So, hope you guys enjoy the video. So, fun fact, folks, whenever you see like a neat, fun, interesting, candid shot in almost any type of video, whether it's a news story or a documentary or a vlog like this, and it looks really natural, I guarantee you it's not. I guarantee you any of the B-roll or interesting shots that you see on anything is actually highly staged, and they probably had to shoot it about 6 different times to get it right, which is why I am out here toweling off my Aqueduct so I can get an awesome activation shot of it at sunrise. So now you know it's all fake. Look at that. Gorgeous. Have you ever seen a drier, cleaner, more beautiful looking aqueduct in your entire life? And the answer is no, because you never thought about aqueducts even a moment before this video. You were like, that's a fucking thing people give a shit about and put in their yard and then make videos about? Yeah, it is. Motherfucker, it is.